This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook live show. We got 7 games here on the DraftKings main slate, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time and going all the way to the 10 p.m. hour, because DraftKings has included the late games on the slate. If you caught the preview show, you heard Grande's rant on that one. If you missed it, go back, check it out. It's obviously always good to hear Grande's takes on slate sizes and his frustration with the DraftKings deciding to cut these off for the strategy aspect of it all. Our guy Keith Eister on the Playbook today. Shout out to Keith and your takedown, the $4.20 max the other day.
Yesterday.
You got him in the Discord. You can go talk to a near winner over in the Discord today.
Near winner. I would venture to say that there has been.
Keith has won many a tournament.
Yeah, so. I was gonna say there's definitely winner next to his name. Like if we searched the little icon on his DraftKings profile, I'm sure it says like
three stripes.
It has the three. Yeah. I bet you there's 3 stripes. That would be my guess.
Yeah, so Keith's out there in the Discord. He's got the Playbook out for you guys already here today. It is holiday week, obviously, with the Christmas slate coming up on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll have all the content out for you guys early, though, so don't worry about that. We won't leave you hanging on Christmas Day. But we're looking at Monday. We got 7 games here, Grande. We got some big spend-up options with Jokic, SGA, and Cade up over $10,000. We've had some injury news. We already got the let them know, so we know we're good with Donovan Mitchell. Jordan Walsh got ruled out. We know that's a major factor for tonight's lineup construction for Grande particularly.
I love how you went from you went from Donovan Mitchell to Jordan Walsh. There was nothing in between there. It wasn't like
big news.
You didn't go to like Chet. You didn't go
went right to the important place.
To Cooper Flagg. You didn't go to like Jeremy Grant. You're like, you know what? Let's skip all that crap and go to Jordan Walsh.
Yeah, Jordan Walsh, big news. Not in for the Celtics tonight. Non-COVID related illness. So maybe a couple of Celtic value plays will be put into Grande's core plays today. But we'll have a lineup at the end of the show for all of you guys, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Appreciate Cujo always in there. I see through you. Jeff Powell. Keith, the champion, in there. The Prince says he needs a sick banger. Yeah, listen, we all need some money ahead of Christmas. No more Ugo slander. It's straight cash.
Ugo.
I know.
Ugo. Look, everyone knows, dude. Everyone knows my hatred for playing the. Here's the thing. Like, I don't understand how anyone enjoys playing. Like, it's always like, let's come at Grande. Like, oh no. How do you guys have fun playing Jordan Walsh and his 20 minutes or like all these Celtic ants? Like Nemus has now played 22 minutes in 4 straight games. Like, yeah, let's keep doing that one, guys. It's a lot of fun. It's like
what's going to happen tonight is that Josh Minot's going to start, and then when people are going to, and then we have to figure out, is Ugo even going to be on the floor? Like, is he going to get some playing time today?
No, it's Hauser. Come on, it's Hauser.
Of course. All right. All kidding aside, we do have a fun slate today. There are some big names, injury related, that we are waiting on. As you mentioned, Chet Holmgren is out. Cooper was at shoot around or missed?
Yes, him and Clay were at shoot around. Yeah. Clay was upgraded to probable. Cooper was not, and then Christie was also not seen at shoot around. So. Some Dallas news that we are awaiting.
Yep. So we'll get it. We'll get as we move along here. The show obviously runs till 6. If we get injury news, we'll talk about it. Point guard position, SJK Cunningham top 2. Mentioned Chet already ruled out. He said on the preview show, you thought maybe there's a chance Memphis hangs? Question mark. Or at least hangs enough to get SGA into the 4th. Does that put him among your top plays today? What do we think here for point guard?
Well, first off, before I say that, please subscribe, hit the like button, share, tell your family, hey guys, Christmas is coming. It's the holiday season. Do me a favor. All I ask for this holiday season is to watch John and James and give them a like and a subscription to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel.
Sure.
Secondly, I would really want this game to stay into the fourth quarter because I got SGA in with the 6th pick in one of my underdog battle royales today.
Okay.
I would really, really enjoy that game to stay competitive.
That's decent. I haven't dipped my toes into the battle royal game yet. Probably will do so after the show.
It's very fun today because there's a lot of stars.
A lot of stars.
Including Shea and Cade. I'm not going to ever... You know my on like blowouts, right? It's very hard to assume a blowout. OKC has lost 2 games in a row for whatever that's worth. They are down 3 centers today. No Chet, no Jay Will, Noah Hartenstein. This is still a 15-point spread. And it's mainly because they're still like they were doing this regularly all year. Like they've been blowing teams out, missing players. Caruso's out as well. Like they're down but Wiggins is still in the injury report. Like there's a lot of injuries in OKC and it doesn't seem to matter because there's also a lot of injuries in Memphis. If this game can stay close, there's 60 in the cards, right? It's a very good paced game. He is an elite usage player. He's an elite fantasy player. He's basically everything you'd want in a player, except you just need him to play the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah.
Will that happen? TBD, but that's basically why he's not getting any ownership, and you can take advantage of that. Now, he's getting more ownership than Cade Cunningham, which I find a little bit surprising because when you look at Detroit, there's one player that you can definitively say will play into the 30s and minutes tonight on Detroit, and it's Cade, right? Like if this game is competitive, he will play upper 30s minutes. He might even approach 40, depending on, how competitive the game is. And he's night in, night out, either a double-double or triple-double threat. And I shouldn't even say double-double. He is a triple-double threat night in, night out. He's a 6'8" point guard. Like he is a massive dude, actively crashing the glass, elite passer, elite rim runner, attacker, and it's a massive pace of spot. Portland's third in pace this year. So neither of those two players, the ownership has slightly come up on SGA throughout the day. Really hasn't on Cade, which I find a little bit surprising.
Sure.
Maybe I shouldn't because I think when we talk like 8, 9K tier, basically across the whole slate, that's where a lot of the ownership is going. Plus Jokic is getting ownership. So immediately when you talk Jokic, like you're taking, it's hard. It's just impossible to basically get to another spend up.
Detroit 6.5 point road favorites tonight here. But we do finally get to, reference the late night hammer.
Yes.
Right. So Cade is definitely in the consideration of a late night hammer where last player on the slate in your lineup, you're waiting, and then boom, 60 plus fantasy points hitting your lineup as you climb the rankings. So, great option for you. Denny, obviously, in that game as well. Other side at 98. Steph Curry also in a late night game. We've seen him look like vintage Steph at $9,000 if you're looking in that tier. In terms of ownership today, Jamal Murray is currently your highest rostered point guard on the slate. You and I have talked about this in the previous show plenty of times that right now it really is just a two-man show. In Denver, it's Jokic, it's Murray. 2 of the last 3 games, you've gotten 30 plus actual points out of Murray here. Utah, we know, horrific defensively. Denver, bad defensively. So, we're talking high-scoring games that these teams are playing in. So, the points here for Murray, or the ownership here for Murray is certainly justified. I wrote up the over 25.5 actual for him tonight for underdog. Everything feels like it's coming up Jamal Murray tonight.
Do you know what the implied total on this game is?
I haven't looked, but I
looking.
Venture to guess north of 250.
You are technically correct because it's 250.5.
Hey, literally didn't guess, just ballparked it.
You are Technically right. Like if it was 250, I would have given.
If the price is right, I win because it's the closest without going.
You are correct. Yep, that's true. Without going over,
my sister was on the Price is Right before. I don't know if I ever told you that story.
I think you have, which is it's such a cool thing.
She spun the wheel. She won a jacuzzi.
Yep, you did. You did.
Bike and a foosball table and 2 iPads, which she made me buy one of the iPads.
You've told me this story because I remember how ridiculous that is that she made you buy the iPad.
Made me buy one. $80.
I hope you hold that over her head for the rest every day. Okay. That's your every morning. Good morning. Remember that time you won 2 iPads and maybe buy one? It is also a 13-point spread. That's your one deterrent. But again, it's not as if Utah's offense is holding them back.
And they are facing today too. So
Laurie in. Their only omission is Kevin Love, which is fine. Yusuf Nurkic is a good offensive player. And, we'll see Filipowski as the backup center probably here. Yeah. Like anytime you start talking 250 implied points, it's 13-point spread, but it's just like hard to. Denver has 132 implied points tonight, dude. Have we seen that? I think Cleveland had that the other day against the Bulls, maybe. But I don't even think it was 132. That's just a crazy implied point total. So, yes, everything Denver that you could suggest to me, I'd be buying.
Okay. Guard on the other side of that matchup, Keontae George.
Pretty good.
Also really good. Also, we talked about Denver's defense, not very good. Keontae George doesn't really matter if Lauri Markkanen is in or out. Just elite everything for him right now. We talked about it. Really, the 3-point shooting, I think, has been the biggest step up for his game. Because earlier this year, he just wasn't shooting the 3 really well. Last 4 games, he's shooting the ball very well from 3-point range. So if that kind of production continues here, it's going to be hard to go away from him. I wrote up his point prop today. It was 23.5, 22.5, something like that. That felt too low. So we put that in the plays. I don't mind either guard. If you stack both guards today, like, more power to you.
A lot of people are staying in this range. Like that's, Keontae and Jamal Murray have more ownership than SGA, Cade. Like nobody's really spending up. They're living in this range right here.
Tier down: White, Garland, Pritchard in the 7K range, Anthony Black, Nembhard, Spencer in the 6K. Cam Spencer is the other guard, up over 20%. We talked at length about him with no John Morant. Do you prioritize him over the 7K guys?
I like Darius Garland today.
Okay.
I just like that matchup in general. I'm not. It's tough. It's a tough like price tag to get to. Mm-hmm. I really like the Garland numbers this year without Evan Mobley, which makes a lot of sense. Your cat likes the.
Yeah, I gotta let the cat out of the room. Go ahead.
Your cat likes the Darius Garland numbers too. No Evan Mobley this year. Garland has a 34% usage rate, 1.2 fantasy points per minute. And obviously a little bit skewed because, Mobley's missing time now. Garland missed a lot of time earlier. So it's not like a massive sample, but a 34% usage is a 34% usage. So,
yeah.
And plus the Charlotte matchup, they're missing an elite shot blocker in Ryan Kalkbrenner, which means your center minutes are going to be divvied up between Moussa Diabate, who's a hustle but too small center, and Mason Plumlee, who's the I would say he's like how I view Udonis Haslem in Miami. Like he's just there for like veteran support more than he is being asked to play basketball. So I like Cleveland a lot today. I know they're struggling. Now there's trade rumors every second of every day with Darius Garland involved in them. But I think to your question, I would probably like long-winded answer to say I would still probably play Cam Spencer over all of them.
Okay.
But I do like Darius Garland specifically. Like we know White and Pritchard have ceilings. We know Anthony Black, he played 40 regulation minutes the other day. Nembhard, we just saw a shout out to Warren, a big ceiling. The thing with Spencer is, Memphis has been kind of reluctant to play guys this many minutes, right? And now we see, they're down, I think their 4th calf strain of the year with Brandon Clark going down.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's been a reason why Thomas Yasolo has been like so like rotation heavy, using so many players. They just don't really have the players to do it. They have Jemai Mashik available tonight. They tried to play him the other day. He just didn't even look like an NBA player. So I just think out of necessity, we're going to get monster minutes out of Cam Spencer again. I don't think he's ever been scared. Like Cam Spencer and Pat Spencer talk more crap than anyone I've seen in the NBA. If you remember Cam Spencer last year as a rookie talking smack to Kevin Durant, it was like, who? Why are you talking smack to Kevin Durant? But that's just the player he is. So like mid to high 30s minutes is absolutely in the range of outcomes tonight. If this game stays competitive, point guard, shooting guard, that's eligibility he has not had, or he has had that for a while. But it's a great benefit to have if you're Cam Spencer, 6,200. No objection there at all.
Where would you go next? Again, ownership goes down into the deep value. Do you like anybody kind of in between there? We mentioned Jordan Poole's return. Pajemski's 54, AJ Mitchell $4,900, Ryan Nembhard, Anthony Simons, Pat Spencer. Anybody there before we get down to the cheap guys?
Poole definitely took a hit with Herb Jones being ruled in. We had talked about Zion possibly starting. They actually started Jordan Poole in the second half of that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can play Jordan Poole. He's still been like the dominant split at, as their like off guard, and Fierce is just, kind of minutes have cratered. So you can play Poole in tournaments. I don't think it's a necessity. I don't think there's anything like Bruce Brown is a guy that we talked about. Like he could start. They could also start THJ if Peyton Watson is ultimately ruled out. I think they would probably go THJ, but you could see Bruce Brown.
Sure.
Especially, with Utah running so many guard heavy lineups with like Collier and Clayton and Keontae. But no, I think it's the cheap guys. It's Brown, it's Collier, it's Brandon Williams for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, Brandon Williams is where the ownership is. Are you surprised by the Ivy ownership that's at least showing right now?
I can understand it a little bit because they downgraded Ron Holland. So I think people are just assuming there's a few extra minutes to be had for Jaden Ivey with like Holland playing like teens minutes. So like if Ivy plays 20 minutes, like we know what the ceiling could be. It's a pace up spot. So, I mean, sure. Right. Like, sure.
Yeah, we were on board when we started seeing the trend go up.
Right.
14 and 13. You're like,
well, like here, my stance hasn't like necessarily changed on Detroit. It's like Cade plays all the minutes. And then like this next tier is like Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris and like Duncan Robinson all play like 28 to 31 minutes. And then it's everybody else like jockeying for minutes. And Ivy's been on the short end a lot of the time, and I get it. He's suffered major injuries. He returned from a major injury and then picked up another one. So he was coming back from 2 different injuries. And now, like, they have 12 guys that they play on a nightly basis. It's just, like, not fun to play. We understand Jaden Ivey is significantly more talented than a $3,200 player. Like, this is a routinely priced $6K player last year before his season-ending injury, but that he is a long ways away from the 30-minute player that he was before that. So I don't have like a lot of interest there. I would just simply play Collier, who's been in the rotation. Like I could see a world where Quentin Jackson is playing more tonight because the Pacers ruled out TJ McConnell, and they've been starting Quentin Jackson alongside Andrew Nembhard. So I could see like a Quentin Jackson extension here. But like, I would sit in this like Collier, Jackson, Williams range. And honestly, like we don't know what OKC is going to do today. I think there's a lot of different paths they can take. And kind of what I said to you last night, is I assume J-Dub starts at center. They did it last year. My guess is we see J-Dub. He even kind of hinted at it in a interview he did this morning where he was going to take the jump ball. He's not taking the jump off like Brendan Carlson was starting at center, right? Like it's kind of maybe a little peek behind the curtain. That means we could see Wallace start. We could see Mitchell start. Like there's a lot of different iterations they could. And if like Kaysen Wallace was starting tonight, John, 4,100, I don't hate it. He's like, it's probably a better FanDuel play because he's so good defensively. But yeah, I don't hate the age. Like we skipped over AJ Mitchell. I don't hate the AJ Mitchell one either. Like we know how good of a usage player he is.
Yeah. Shooting guard then. Donnie Mitch, again, let him know. Going to play $9,600, big price difference as you kind of work your way down the tier. Your highest rostered play of the top group is Shaedon Sharpe right now. Not considering sort of value range. $7,300 for him. You got Bane, White, Murphy between the two. Are you prioritizing a spend up on Donovan Mitchell, given who else you can spend up for today? It is a great spot for him.
Dude, I think he's one of the better low-owned like spend ups today. I think he's just gonna be a victim of like what else is on the board because I think there's a lot of superstars that are underpriced and they're being rostered as such, right? Donovan Mitchell has a 41% usage rate without Evan Mobley this year. He's averaging 1.5 DraftKings points per minute without Evan Mobley this year.
Yeah.
Those numbers, John, are better than Nikola Jokic without Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon. It's like, obviously those are two different situations, but I'm just saying one of them is nearly $13,000 and one of them is not even 10.
Yep.
Right. So just throwing that, like just lobbing that grenade out there.
Only a few games removed of a 48 actual.
Dude, he is as talented of a scorer as anyone in the NBA when he gets going. Like we have seen this for years. This is like a walking flamethrower. So he's not going to be rostered nearly as high as he should be. And I might not because I've been so pretty set on like a couple spend ups that specifically we're going to get to power forward. I think that's like the position I've prioritized today, but I'm going to toy around with some Donovan Mitchell builds tonight. Cause again, this is a bad team he's facing. They are also projected 124 implied points is a lot of points, dude. That's that's a boatload of points. It's a pace down spot that hurts them. Charlotte plays really slow, but they're 24th in defensive rating, and you're getting a guy with a 40% usage rate. Yeah, I'm definitely in tournaments, and I think everything else is you can play basically anyone else. Below, you could definitely play Desmond Bane. You could definitely play White. Murphy's great. Shaedon with your Jeremy Grant downgrade. So
Shaedon's where the ownership is, right? So you're looking at sort of a pivot off of him with any of those other guys kind of around him. Because again, at least for now, where the ownership sits at shooting guard, it's Sharpe. Some guys we've kind of already hit on because they have dual positional eligibility until you get down to the 5K range where there's Cam Johnson, Naji Marshall, options for you down in the 5K tier. But, Canepo, Murphy, White, Bane, Tyson, Coward, no one's really playing those guys. Anthony Black's getting some ownership, but he has dual positional eligibility. How do you feel about the rest of the 7K? Are they just pivots from you?
Yes, they are. And to answer Torrens, I think right now he's settling right above 10, but I'd assume it's probably somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, give or take. If you're in single entries, probably a little bit higher. If you're in large field tournaments, probably a little bit lower.
I don't know if it gets higher.
No,
because again, we're going to talk about some
sure.
We still have a lot of the chalky spend ups to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't think it goes up from here.
If you had to pick a 5K shooting guard, I guess Naji Marshall or Cam Johnson.
If I'm picking between them, I think Naji probably gets a slight edge because he has small forward eligibility as well. He's also like killed Max Christie. Like Max Christie's minutes are just gone. And Max Christie was not at shoot around. So like you're pretty confident he doesn't play, and you feel pretty good that Naji's minutes just remain. We also like if Cooper's ruled out too, then what? Then we're missing Cooper, Flagg, and potentially and we've seen this. They like Naji, like Cooper Flagg is being used like in a big ball handling role on this team. Naji Marshall will just assume that. Like he is a very good. We were talking about this last year when they had like 8 guys and they were like struggling. Naji Marshall is a very good secondary ball handler creator. So if there's no Cooper Flagg, like Naji's going to have a lot of ball handling duties in this game. That would be an easy decision for me. I get the Cam Johnson. He's playing big minutes. He is in a dream spot, and he plays with the best passer on the planet. I get it. And he, like, we've seen flashes from him this year. The shooting percentages are going up. He's played better lately, and now the price is at a season low. So or around what the low mark has been. So like, I get it. I lean Naji, but I'd be okay with both of them.
Yep. All right. Any value options down here that you're looking to prioritize? Again, a lot of these guys have dual positional eligibility, so we hit them all. The one we didn't was Isaiah Joe, and that one's someone you kind of circled back to during the preview show last night. Again, people looking for value because there's a lot of expensive plays we like here on this slate. He's currently just above 10% right now. Thoughts on Isaiah Joe?
Yeah, before I get there, I will just address Amanda's comment about Cooper Flagg, all hype. Sometimes the hype is real and looks pretty real now that he's gotten off the ball as like no primary point guard. Inserted a primary point guard.
Just like define all hype.
I know he's like almost at 20 a game now, and
where is he? Is
shooting? He's a shooting guard.
Am I just like blind to his name here? What's his price?
Or he's small forward. Sorry,
okay, I was like, where are we?
7,200 small forward.
Well, they have moved his position like 8 times. So, I mean, what's all hype around a guy, an 18-year-old with 4 straight 20+ games and
19 yesterday apparently.
Right, 19-year-old now, 4 straight 20+ and a 40 burger in there. So, I don't think hype is necessarily.
I know it seems like the.
If you wanted to see all hype, you should have done it like the first 2 weeks of the year.
That's when you should. Could have fired the takeoff then. That's
you don't think now when he's playing at like peak level here.
Yeah, he's cooking. I don't hate the Isaiah Joe play. I mean, again, like no Caruso, no centers, possibly no Wiggins. Ousmane Dieng is out. Should play in a blowout if this game gets out of hand. Very good shooter, like very, 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 very good shooter. So yeah, I think he's fine. Like should play 20 minutes, could play more.
Sure.
I'm
only calling about because value wise, he is getting a little bit. Him and Jaden Ivey, kind of both people looking to seemingly figure out what 3K punt they want at the guard position there. All right, small forward, Jaylen Brown up over $9,000. Jalen Williams is 81. Jimmy Butler 8K. Those are your top 4 guys in terms of price. Ownership wise, Jaylen Brown is the guy that people are looking to get to right now, up over 20%. Again, can't say enough good things about what Jaylen Brown's been doing this year with the full Celtics takeover for him this season.
Yeah, still needs to go to Turkey, but that's okay. I don't know what he's going to do without his beloved Jordan Walsh tonight. He's gonna be lost without him.
I mean, defensive stopper, right? I mean, he's going to have to deal with Ugo Gonzalez and
we didn't.
Minot, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jalen's awesome. I don't have
like we knew he could score. Getting this level of consistent rebounds and assists, like that's what's really just putting him over the top from a fantasy perspective.
I mean, like he has the ball in his hands a lot, so the assists like naturally, he's growing as a playmaker. The rebounding, also another situation like they kind of need him to, since they're what they're starting at power forward and what they've been kind of like starting it all year.
Remember, this is what Tatum was doing, rebounding, right?
Yeah,
Tatum was an 8 to 9, 10 rebounder a night, So you're kind of getting up there.
Yeah, I think Jalen looks. I think he looks the huge pace up spot. Huge pace up spot. Indiana's 19th in defensive rating. Jalen has a 36% usage this year, dude. Like, yeah, go crazy. You want to play Jaylen Brown? He'll get you 50 plus again tonight.
Agreed. And again, Denny's not really getting any ownership. So if you're looking to pivot off of him, you can. He's getting a third of what Jaylen Brown's getting for a little bit more money. Jalen Williams, talk to me. $8,100 when like full go. We've seen him put up big numbers before, right? If there's no Chet, still dealing with SGA, of course, but guy that can pay it off in a bunch of different ways. Do you like the $8,100 today?
Yeah. I don't. We haven't gotten the pop game, but it's not because he's not capable of it. Like this is an all-star last year. He had a 40-point game in the finals with a fractured wrist, right? Like it's a very good player. They're missing a ton. Again, I think he's probably starts the center tonight, which does bode well for Dub. I remember last year the numbers when he was starting at center were absolutely ridiculous.
Sure. Cooper Flagg is second in ownership here, but it's only 13-14% depending where you're looking. And of course, we still have another hour plus till tip off, so these things can change. Assuming he is good to go, he was a guy that we were looking at last night. 64 and 51 fantasy points in 2 of the last 3 games. Pelicans, we know, are not good defensively here. Buying in on some Cooper Flagg tonight?
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be in the player pool. The minutes are great. The production's obviously been great. Multifaceted NBA player. Yeah.
I like the free throws, man. Show me, I don't know. Maybe I sound old school, but like show me a guy that gets to the line. Give me the free points.
Well, yeah, but also, if I get 9 threes from I get 4.5 extra bonus points.
Sure. He's got to hit the 9 threes. Well,
he's not making 3. He can't. That's the one thing in his game that he cannot. Ooh, it's been bad from 3 for Cooper. Brandon Miller, by the way, I didn't want to skip over him. He's super high ceiling guy.
Yep. I agree. Obviously, the 3-point shooting for him when he hits it, huge ceiling for him there.
Yep.
Anybody else in this mid range? Some of these guys have dual positional eligibility that we kind of hit on, but you have Sadique Bey, Jalen Wells, Ace Bailey. We had a DeAndre Hunter mentioned in the chat. Thoughts on that group? My
thoughts are we can just move on past them.
Okay. Nobody you're interested in playing there?
Nope.
Right. Where do you go next then? What's your play at small forward?
I like obviously Naji. Don't hate Herb Jones at 4,400 now that he's been cleared to play. THJ, KCP, I think they're both okay. If Wiggins plays, I think he has to be a little bit in play. Just get to Ugo. Like, do you get to Ugo?
I was just gonna see if there was anybody else. I mean, listen, the field's not playing him, so it's not like I'm saying, at least for now, there's like no one's punting Ugo Gonzalez, but double, 28 minutes, 10-8, 29 minutes game before that. Now Jordan Walsh, first round pick. Currently the flavor of the week here for Joe Mazzulla.
How if you were predicting Ugo Gonzalez minutes tonight, what would you set it at?
24.
Okay. Are you comfortable playing?
I feel like I'm playing it.
You are. You should. Honestly, you're probably being still too bold. You're probably being a little too bold. I would probably say that's with Jordan Welsh out. That's probably. Do you think he starts or do you think it's Hauser?
I think Hugo might start because they want I think they need some defense on the floor.
Do you think that who's guarding Siakam if Hugo starts?
Probably him. Right?
I feel like he's not. I mean, he's fine. He's 6'6", I guess.
Yeah, dude. He came into the league defensively ready.
As a defensive, no, I know. And I know that's like his MO.
He's still 19. They're expecting a little bit of a growth spurt out of him. The NBA growth, these guys have over the offseason. So
let's comment. Anthony, we'll go to Anthony real quick. Donovan Mitchell is in.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is in. Other Anthony, Boston Anthony, of course, he's in here cheering for the Celtics. And then Josh Engelwoman, no one's playing Collier. And then Renee, I'll get to your comment because you come in here every once in a while commenting about Stochastic. And while I want everyone to watch whatever they want, just keep those comments to yourself. If you want to stay for our analysis, thank you. If not, then go over to Stochastic. We appreciate whatever you're doing every time you come into chat. But I don't care if you're going to make changes because what we have to say. If you want to listen to us, that's great. If not, then you're wasting an hour of your life and you should move on and go to their show. But appreciate the comments, but let's keep them, let's, make a little more sense when you're think about it before you type away. So, and Ugo Gonzalez is $3,700. Yeah. Ugo. I messed it up.
All right. Do we really think that J-Dub starts over centers? I mean, he has before. So, we're just kind of looking at
last year, Chet and Hartenstein were out. They did it last year. So, you look at Kenrich, J-Dub has a 7'3" wingspan. He has that's always been his MO. He has incredibly long arms. So they were comfortable playing him there. They could start Carlson. The Kenrich one, they're not too different in time in size. So
yeah.
I would say I still think they start Dub. Not that I think Carlson or Kenrich don't play. That's just what we've seen.
Yeah. And again, we'll see what happens, but they go back to last year. That's kind of what they went. Again, I would still play Ugo. I'm not prioritizing him as a single entry lineup play. But I think that if he starts, I think you're going to see more people go to him there. So, all right. Anything else at small forward?
No, we could go to
all right. Power
forward.
Is Horford playing? Hilarious.
There's our boy Primate in the chat.
Yeah. All right. Anthony, you said all day. Anthony, power forward's where you want to get to. We talked about on the preview show. Anthony Davis is 92. Paolo Banchero's 87. Lauri Markkanen at 81. Those guys are all just really great options. Obviously, AD and Banchero stand out. Lauri's been a beast at $8,100. I think you could play any of the four in the 8K range. Siakam would rank last for me there, but just a strong top tier power forward.
Dude, I said it on the pre-show, and I'll say it again. If you're going to get Anthony Davis mid to high 30s minutes, it's impossible to not look at him and not think he's a 10K player, right? He's an elite usage player, about 30% this year. It's 29. It goes up to 30 if Cooper's out. He's a 1.4 fantasy point per minute player. And now you're talking about a guy who's, we think, behind, left the calf strain behind because, you're not extending Anthony Davis 37 and 34 minutes if the calf is at all an issue. He's just too good of last year, he was an 11K player. Was he dinged? The only reason he's 9,200 is because the algorithm is slow to the minute increase a little bit, I would say, because when he came back, he was limited, right? He's not limited anymore.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me. It's never comfortable. I'll say it. I understand it. Shout out to one of the best comments we've had was Warren.
I was going to say, where's Warren with the 80 to the locker room comment?
80 to the locker room when he was chalked. Now, going into that night, he was literally listed with a calf strain. Yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday. because then you messaged me an hour after lock. You're like, why did I play Anthony Davis? He went to Slate with a cap
immediately went into the locker room. Yeah,
he's not going into the slate with any injury designation, so there's a big distinction. Chalky Anthony Davis doesn't feel good, but the spot is elite. The game environment is elite. The price is elite. The player, when he's playing at this level, is elite. So I think he is like per dollar as good as anyone else on the slate. And I feel similarly to when Paolo Banchero is playing this aggressively on offense.
Yeah.
He's taken 27 free throws in the last 2 games. The 3-point volume, I think you can always tell when Paolo's kind of getting it going. 3-point volume down, free throw attempts up, right? Like constant pressure on the rim. That is Paolo Banchero's game, getting downhill. And he's done it. 39 and 42 minutes, 39 shot attempts over the last 2 games, 27 free throws, almost back-to-back triple doubles, like no fronts, no sugs. Like
some really good scoring outputs despite being horrific from 3-point range.
Yes.
Again, but making up for it by getting to the free throw line, even though it'd be nice for him not to miss 5 and 4 free throws in those last 2 games as well. You know, hit your free shots, make your threes, and we're talking about a guy that's going for 60, 70 fantasy points in some of those games and not 50 and 60.
Right.
So,
right.
We're all there. No worries, Ramey. We got you. Then you got Laurie, who, I mean, not the first time this year he's gone for 7.
No.
So he's back. We've talked about Denver's defensive troubles. Watson's questionable too, right, tonight? Or
yes, he is. He is still listed as questionable.
And we kind of consider him like their next up defender. If he's gone, then what?
Spencer Jones is probably like, and I don't even know. Like that's like that's a tough one for Spencer Jones. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So again, I like Utah. We had Anthony asked what our favorite like stash or stacks were tonight. I mean, Denver, Utah is a game that we're trying to get to here. Our guy Josh says no one's playing Collier, but the Sims are pushing him. I wrote up the Collier 6.5 assists today. His assist chances are crazy. His overall assists are good. I don't mind the prop there if you're getting him in lineups. I mean, for value play, it's there.
He looks like he should be playing fullback in the NFL.
Yeah.
The way he's just always going downhill. Like that dude is a freaking ox.
Yeah, not known really for being like a straight offensive player right now. Some of these guys need to develop that part of his game, but like from a facilitator,
very good playmaker.
Really
very
good
playmaker.
13, 16, 16, and 13 potential assists over the last 4 games.
Yep.
You know, like, and obviously he's been rewarded with 9, 13, 8, and 8 assists in that range, which is why I thought the 6.5 assists tonight seemed crazy. So I put that in my article tonight, over 6.5 assists for Isaiah Collier. But getting a guy like Roy Markkanen back in the lineup certainly helps the potential assist numbers there. So
yes, very high, very, 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 very high ceiling for Markkanen.
So again, I think you're good going any of the 4 guys there. Siakam would be last for me of that group. AD, Banchero, Markkanen would be the top 3 priority. And again, I see all the Anthony Davis comments. Like I understand what you guys are saying about the injuries and whatnot. The man's averaging like 30 rebounded chances the last 3 games. I mean,
Wash. I saw a couple Wash comments, and I just kind of like.
I don't know. Like I agree with you. We're all very aware and agree with you that he is ridiculously injury prone. That's the risk you play. It is what it is. All right, moving our way down here. Where are you looking in the mid range? I know you like the top tier, so I don't think you have much exposure to the mid range, but neither does the field really. Sandy Aldama is 10%.
He's not going to score. He's not going to score 40 again.
Not going to score 40. Him and PJ Washington both around that 10% range. Kenrich at 32 because again everybody's just trying to find a 3K pun play. Tobias Harris was somebody we talked about. He's currently looking at over 20% tonight. Peyton Watson, Draymond Green, some more sort of mid cheapies that are getting some ownership, but nobody I'm looking to necessarily jam into my lineups here.
I will say PJ would be the standout if Cooper Flagg was ultimately ruled out. He has some pretty good numbers without Cooper Flagg. He's like just under a fantasy point per minute with Cooper Flagg, 21.5% usage, but without Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, 1.1 fantasy points per minute, almost a 24% usage rate. So I would have a lot more interest there. Other than that, like, I don't have a ton. Like, you can, of course, Memphis is so short that game stays close. Obviously, Jaren Jackson and Santi Aldama have something to say about that. Like, that's the only way they stay competitive. If Jaren is, for whatever Jaren is, he has been really good lately, like very small pockets, but obviously very, very risky. Nothing else that really stands out. We can just, we'll talk fiscally. Yes, Donovan, he did let us know.
We did get to let him know. We did.
So we'll talk Isaiah Stewart first. Life of blank, who I think I just got the follow from him on Twitter too. I saw that. We did, right? So salute to you for the support. If you guys want to follow our Twitters, they're right here on the screen. Do you ever need any lineup advice after the show?
In the Discord,
come in the Discord as well. Yeah. I do think Isaiah Stewart is a little bit interesting here. He falls in line with basically like everything I don't like about Detroit. It doesn't hurt that Ron Holland is downgraded to doubtful. I do think that we could see some elevated minutes for Stewart. They're not shy of using him and Jalen Duren. And if Jalen Duren is dealing with the hip and it bothering him at all, Isaiah Stewart obviously will pick up a couple extra minutes. He's very good per minute. So I don't hate these two Detroit players specifically. Like, after Cade, I think Toby and Stewart would probably be the next two options I would look at. It is, let's go to Kenrich here, John, because like, I don't think he's like very good. He's like 0.8 fantasy, but there's like so many scenarios where, okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Okay. Who do you think would be more likely to start if Jalen Williams doesn't start tonight? Kenrich Williams or Brendan Carlson?
I feel like we've seen Kenrich get the nod more often than not.
Well, right. Carlson just hasn't, like, I feel like there's never been an opportunity for him to.
I mean, we got him starting that one game earlier this year when everybody was out.
Who do you think has a higher minutes ceiling? Kenrich Williams or Brendan Carlson?
I still probably lean Kenrich Williams. I mean, again, I just feel like they like going to that lineup with him. They know what they can kind of expect out of him. You know, they're willing to play Jalen Williams, at the 5. They can play Kenrich at the small 5. We've seen it.
Well, they don't have Jalen. Well, they don't have. Oh, well, Jalen. Yeah, Jalen. J-Dub.
Yeah,
J-Dub. It's a tough one because like Carlson's. We had a question earlier. About would we play both together, Carlson and Kenrich? And I think Carlson, and I know definitively that Carlson's the better fantasy player. He's over a fantasy point per minute this year without Chet Holmgren, where Kenrich is about a 0.8 fantasy point per minute player. So like there's a distinct difference, but like if they were to get the same minutes, it doesn't matter. Kenrich has better eligibility. So like it's easier to play him. I think Carlson, if I wouldn't play them both. I would probably just play one or the other. I'm sure there's going to be lineups with both.
Yeah.
Like if neither are starting, I don't think you could play both. Because then I just think like we're just fighting. We're just fighting for minutes at that point.
Yep.
I don't know. I am a little bit. like I'm fine with Kenrich, but it's like I just don't know what the
floor is super low. Again,
we don't, dude.
So there's just a lot of risk. He's not a single entry build for me. So, and this isn't a spot where like 60% of the field is playing Kendrick Williams tonight. It's like 20% of the field. So,
well, if you were to pivot off Brendan Carlson, he is like, if you were picking and you were like, I want a pivot, he's obviously the pivot from Carlson, because Carlson, we're about to go to center anyway.
Yeah, Carlson's the one getting the 50%. So 50%. I guess whoever starts, right, you're kind of plugging.
But what if it's neither? That's the thing, because that could.
If it's neither, I probably don't want to play either of them.
But it's still it's a 15-point spread, and like know that they're going to play minutes.
I would say never assume that they're going to do anything.
Fair.
Because we've played Cam Whitmore, assuming he is going to play. Did not play.
Yeah, and the funny part is going to be the ownership's going to be interesting, right? We're going to center here anyway, because we already have been told that Ryan Kalkbrenner is not playing, right?
Yep.
Moussa Diabate / Mason Plumlee are in the 7 p.m. game. They're on the island 7 p.m. game. So it'll be very interesting to see if Moussa gets the start, what his ownership is versus what happens later in the night, right? Because if Moussa's starting, like, it's not an easy spot, but it's like he's like a pretty good fantasy player, is over 0.9 this year without Colin Sexton and Kalkbrenner. We know he's a good rebounder. But it's interesting how it's going to be handled tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to center, where again 50% of the field is playing Brendan Carlson as of now. That will certainly change if things get updated. Close to roster lock. They're at 9:30 start time though, so probably won't know. Anthony Davis has dual positional eligibility, so obviously the ownership for him carries over. And then Nikola Jokic is 24% right now at 12.5. Matchup against Utah, he's gone for 80 against Houston recently. Biggest ceiling on the board for anybody on the slate? Not a question, a statement.
Yeah, it's a statement.
Yeah,
that was a statement. You're saying,
yeah,
right?
Statement, not a question. It was a statement.
Yeah. I'm not going to add.
Yeah, that's fine.
There are 5 centers, and 2 of them have multi-position eligibility, getting 20% or higher.
Yeah,
that is it. Anything else you do at center is off the board. Like, not saying not to. I'm saying contrarian. I should have is contrarian, because nobody else is getting any ownership.
Nope. And none of those centers are. It's Jokic and AD, and then it's all the punt plays. So. Diabate, Kenrich, Carlson. So if you want to play a Wendell Carter today at $5,400, you're getting him at under 10%. If you wanted to play Donovan Clingan today at 63, you're getting him under 10%. Jared Allen, like all of these guys here are tournament pivots, cheap plays, guys you can build some GPP lineups around. Again, I like Wendell Carter. I think he's a great play today at $5,400.
Same.
No one's, again, under 10% of the field is getting there right now.
Dude, the numbers without Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs are really good. 1.08 fantasy points per minute is second on the team. He's averaging more fantasy points per minute than Desmond Bane. And he's at a 19% usage, which isn't a lot, but for a center who doesn't play with the ball, 19% usage rate is pretty good. So I agree. It's obviously not a great spot. Golden State, and that's kind of why, like, Orlando, I think, is one of those teams where I'd probably max 1 tonight. Because it's such a tough spot. Like, Golden State, for all their deficiencies, are 3rd in defensive rating. Like, they are getting after it. They're also kind of play slow. So, like, good or like slower paced game plus very good defense is like not appealing. But if you're not playing Paolo and Wendell Carter is your one Magic representative, I don't mind it. We just had a comment about Jared Allen. I actually looked at earlier today. I took him in one of my underdog teams after I don't it's hard to want to play anything else at center other than like all the way up, all the way down type situation. Dude, Jared Allen, it was shocking to me. Jared Allen, without Evan Mobley this year, has a 25% usage rate. Would have never thought that in a million years. 25% usage rate, 1.25 fantasy points per minute. It's really good numbers, dude. So, like the Allen, like Klingon range, like I like. It's just Nurkic. I like the Allen, Klingon, Nurkic range. I just don't know how you get there. I think we had a Jock Landale comment at some point in this program. He's another one who has like a pretty high ceiling. Could he start tonight? It's possible. Eldama could start, I guess, as well. Which, you know, if Eldama starts, like, we shouldn't really overlook the J-Dub starting at center thing because, like, Eldama's not really a center. He's 6'10", but he's he's a wing player, if anything. So,
and we'll get to our lineup right now, but obviously the part of having these late games on is you can build your lineup to leave the ability to make the necessary pivots. Depending on who's in and out. If Brandon Carlson ends up starting, you want to be able to have the roster flexibility to put him in your lineup and then go get to Cade Cunningham tonight or something like that, and make those kind of moves. So, Coach Chris, appreciate you tuning in. If you guys are just joining now, you can go watch the rewind on the show. Started an hour ago. Got an hour to roster lock, so you can catch up on all the latest news. Our goal every show is to get 100 likes. There's well over 400 of you currently watching today's show right now. So if you haven't hit that like button already, do so. Free to do if you want to hit that subscribe button, get notified whenever we go live. We do live shows every day from 5 p.m. Eastern time. We also do preview shows. Those get released around 10, 11 o'clock at night for the next day's slate. So we never leave you hanging for the NBA. We do plenty of NFL shows, including start-sit shows on Sunday. So if you're in your fantasy football championship this week, you want to get your lineup set, come meet us on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, myself and Andrew Cooper. We do a ton of MLB DFS shows during the season as well. So plenty of reasons to join the Fantasy Alarm channel here. Amanda wants to know anything on Draymond Green. Do you like the Golden State side of that matchup for Orlando?
Draymond is a player. He is active. He might get thrown out. He might not.
He's $6K. That's my only problem with him. Like that, I wish he was cheaper.
I mean,
he's fine. I just wish he was cheaper.
I mean, at like similar price points, I'd rather just play Yusuf Nurkic or Donovan Klingon.
Sure. Alrighty.
Dude, Preffy, I don't know if you saw, Preffy had a hilarious comment on the preview show this morning.
No, I missed it.
Because I had said the thing about Anthony Davis and Jokic, and I was like, Anthony Davis can't go for a 40-point triple-double like Jokic can. And then he commented, and he said, Anthony Davis is going to go for a 40-point triple-double. I was laughing. It was shout out to Preffy for that good one. Right. Had a chuckle this morning.
There you go. All right, where do we want to go with our lineup here? Lead the way for me here, Grande.
80.
80, a power forward.
Yeah, we just had the comment. Valanciunas is actually getting a bunch of ownership earlier today.
Yeah. I toyed with his over points prop
because he is not out. He was downgraded to probable.
Yeah.
So he is still expected to play. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. 80 and 92. Are we playing any of this? Are we doing the Brandon Williams value?
I mean, I'm not against playing it.
Okay.
I'm not against playing Brandon Williams. I think he's fine.
I'm just trying to figure out how we can get our
Would you rather play? I mean, you're someone who played Isaiah Collier assist prop. Would you rather play Isaiah Collier than Brandon Williams?
Sure. I'm good with either option.
Cooper Flagg is going through his pregame warm up right now.
Okay.
Well, 9 minutes ago he was.
Obviously, the problem we run into is like if we want to go stars and screw out, then we have to jam in some of this like Thunder value. Do you just like temporarily play Brandon Carlson?
Well, I think the correct path is here. If you're gonna do it at center, you play Kenrich.
I was gonna play like util.
Yeah, I was gonna say you either play Kenrich at center or util, depending on what you want
so then
to
you can go down to Carlson.
So then you can go down. I also I like Musa tonight at 3,900. He's a 7. He's an island 7 p.m. game. So it's a tough one.
Okay. What's our other spend up here? Are we doing Paolo? Are we getting to like a spend up guard?
JB looks pretty good.
Okay. Jaylen Brown. All right. Collier, shooting guard. Brown, Davis, Diabate, guard forward. Almost $6,700 a player. Again, we're going to build this out to leave some room for pivoting. This is just an example lineup, everybody. So make sure that you are hip to the news, have your notifications on, and get ready for tonight's slate that runs all the way to 10 p.m. Eastern time. The full lineup will be in the Discord. Things could certainly change here. So if you play it, and guys get ruled out, and we make some pivots, we'll do our best to let you guys know in the Discord. We appreciate the support from you guys. We'll have the preview show tonight for the Tuesday slate, Monster Tuesday slate, because no one's playing on Wednesday because we got Christmas on Thursday. So until then, everybody, we'll see you later.